Chapter 746 Eat the Dragon Stage. This time, Chaos did not immediately start to eat, unlike the previous time. Instead, it churned about at the ceiling of the cave and observed. Lu Shu realized that it was very sly. It awakened when there was something to eat and went to sleep if there was no food. It did not try to fight, if it knew that it could not defeat its enemy. Nia Ting swiftly slashed the dragon stage. But to everyone's surprise, the dragon stage was unharmed. The next moment, Nia Ting rose into the sky with his blade. Ao Xian, who had been sitting on the dragon stage, suddenly turned into a dragon. 100-meter-long green dragon appeared out of thin air. With one swipe of its claw, it broke Nia Ting's blade. But this attack made Ao Xian very uncomfortable. The scales on his claw started to peel and reveal the flesh underneath. The entire Kunlun Mountains started to shake. The people inside the base walked out of the temporary building and looked helplessly in the direction of the Death Valley. The piled-up snow on the Kunlun Mountains started to collapse. Another avalanche was about to happen. What's happening? Zhang Yanfeng asked. He really admired these practitioners. Any move they made had the potential to shake the entire world. He had only heard about this in myths. Suddenly, they heard a loud and angry roar from the Death Valley. Wang Yan and the other ordinary people panicked. Is there some strange creature there? Why don't we go back to the city instead of waiting here for them? Chang Qiuqiao was unhappy. Auntie, we are here to protect you, but our teammates are still in there. You're lucky that we haven't abandoned you to help them. Would you kindly shut your mouth? Everyone had seen the slash of the sword that had swooped down from the sky. According to Cheng Qiuqiao, Heavenly King Nye and Lu Shu should be in the Death Valley. Everything would be all right. At first, Wang Yan and the rest felt that Cheng Qiuqiao was very honest. This was true. Cheng Qiuqiao was always very frank with his friends, especially Chen Zuan. But there were times when Chen Zuan could not handle the truth. But they also had their limits, especially when facing selfish people like Wang Yan. Suddenly, a crack appeared on the peak of a mountain among the Kunlun Mountains. The crack rapidly grew longer, as if a deep abyss was about to form. When the Cheng'ing sword unlocked the seal within the Death Valley, even the mountain itself was in danger of collapsing under the fight between Class A experts. It was as if it would collapse at any time. Even the air started to distort. From afar, it seemed as if there were pieces of glass in the air that did not follow the laws of the natural world. Who are they? Zhang Yanfeng looked up and saw that there were two people above the Death Valley. Both of them were dressed in black cloaks. Identical ironclad puppets floated beside them. Chang Qiuqiao, Lu Xiaoyu, and Cheng Qiuqiao's expression grew serious. The puppet masters. Why are both of them here at the same time? Their black cloaks shook and dozens of wood puppets flew out, laughing cheerily. They were holding on to a red thread. These wooden puppets were very fast. In a flash, they had used the red thread to create a large web in the sky. Buzz. A red ray of light burst forth from the web. The mountain peak that was about to collapse was stabilized by the ray of light. It was as if a small part of the world was being protected. They are protecting the world there? Chang Qiuqiao was shocked. Aren't they villains who want to destroy the world? Why are they protecting that area? But Lu Xiaoyu and Chao Qingxi were not as talkative as Chen Zuan. They did not reply to him. Lu Xiaoyu quietly looked at the two puppet masters. For some reason, she felt that they were smiling at her. Back in the cave, Lu Shu did not participate in the fight between Ao Xian and Nia Ting. But Nia Ting was very calm, even in the face of a 5-to-1 Panlong. Nia Ting is about to break through. He is stuck at the limit and cannot advance, said Hai Gongzi as he observed from below. No wonder he initiated the fight. He wanted to use the battle as a trigger for him to break through. From the look of things, the enemies he had faced in the past were too weak. But this battle is not enough, because Ao Xian is not a worthy opponent. Lu Shu was dumbfounded. So Ting had come all the way to the Kunlun Mountains to find a stronger opponent. Such drive. Can't he just do it on his own? Lu Shu asked. What do you understand? Hai Gongzi looked at Lu Shu in disdain. Out of the 18 arms won, there are 9 short weapons and 9 long weapons. You have to press forward with an indomitable will when using the short weapons. Without this will, he would not have his achievements today. One cannot be defeated by the obstacles in front of them. I am not ashamed to ask someone inferior to me. You said that one has to press forward with an indomitable will for the way of the Tao. Then how about the way of the sword? Lu Shu asked. Hai Gongzi expressionlessly looked at Lu Shu. Throw that attitude away and ask properly. I might consider telling you. From Ao Hai's distress, plus 800. But Hai Gongzi suddenly realized that Lu Shu no longer cared about him. Instead, he waved at Chaos, who was observing in a corner. He secretly approached the dragon stage. To Lu Shu, after the events that had happened in the Lop Nur remains, killing Ao Xian was not that difficult. All he needed to do was to get Chaos to eat the dragon stage. Ao Xian probably did not know about Chaos' ability. Everyone had also been taken by surprise by the mystic water. Many people felt that their mythical objects and magical items were tough and sharp. But when they encountered mystic water, they were very unlucky. They could not defend themselves against it. When Chaos saw Lu Shu waving to it, it became very excited. There would be food to eat as long as it followed its owner. Hai Gongzi and Chen Zuan looked helplessly at them. While an earth-shaking fight was occurring above their heads, Lu Shu and Chaos were stealthily heading towards the dragon stage. What is Brother Shu going to do? Ao Xian had seen what Lu Shu and Chaos were doing. But the dragon stage was very durable. Even ordinary mythical objects were no match for it. Wanting to destroy the dragon stage was just wishful thinking. Chaos bit off a corner of the dragon stage and started to eat, delicious. From Ao Xian's distress, plus 999. Stop. Ao Xian, who was still in his dragon form, was furious. He had never thought that Chaos would be able to break off the dragon stage with just one bite. The power from the dragon stage started to leak out. This was Ao Xian's sole support that allowed him to survive. When Lu Shu saw how furious Ao Xian was, he turned and shouted, "Run, run. The old man is angry. Eat later." Chaos glanced at Ao Xian, who was running towards the dragon stage. It bit off another corner of the dragon stage before flying away. Ao Xian saw the dragon stage that he had been sitting on for thousands of years, missing 2 corners. He felt so much pain that he almost could not breathe. From Ao Xian's distress, plus 999. Chapter 747, Chaos Dragon. Ao Xian suddenly sang a strange tune. The tune was so strange that it seemed as if it could control the elements and the laws of nature in this space. Before he could finish, Hai Gongzi charged towards him. It was as if Hai Gongzi knew that he could not let Ao Xian finish speaking the dragon language. Otherwise, a disaster would happen. The 2 dragons were in a tangle. As they fought, they created numerous holes in the walls of the cave. The cave was about to collapse. Just as Chen Zuan was going to ask Lu Shu what they should do, Lu Shu once again brought Chaos to the dragon stage. Hurry up and eat. Eat what you can. Lu Shu spurred Chaos on as he kept watch. If Ao Xian swooped down again, he would run away with Chaos. Chen Zuan was dumbfounded. Brother Shu, when will I ever be as amazing as you? By then, the dragon stage was no longer complete. The magical energy within the dragon stage was leaking outwards. It was like a white liquid. No wonder the dragon stage in the Lopner remains was able to revive so many bronze-armored soldiers of the sea. The dragon stage contained so much magical energy. Lu Shu looked at Chen Zuan and roared, "Do you want to drink some?" Chaos was wildly eating the dragon stage. The white liquid containing magical energy continued to flow out. Every time Chaos took a bite, Ao Xian became weaker. Chen Zuan looked at his surroundings and charged forth to fill his stomach with the liquid. Ordinary people would only be able to drink a few gulps, but Chen Zuan was different. He was able to eat 15 days' worth of food in one meal. Ao Xian, who was in the sky, was very scared. If there was only one eating the dragon stage, then so be it. But now there were two. Ao Xian wanted to stop them from further destroying the dragon stage, but Hai Gongzi and Nie Ting blocked him. If it were a fair fight, the current Ao Xian could not defeat Nie Ting. Now, he had to face Hai Gongzi as well. In the past, when he was stronger, he could escape, but he could not now. Once the dragon stage was destroyed, he would die along with it. Because of the dragon stage, Ao Xian could linger on with his last breath, but precisely because of the dragon stage, his existence was being controlled. Ao Xian roared angrily, "If I was still in my peak, lowly humans would be no match for me." "Your generation is over," said Nie Ting calmly. He was slightly regretful. He had initiated a fight to allow him to advance, but he did not expect that Ao Xian had wasted so much time doing nothing. His strength had dropped significantly. Chen Zuan lay down on the dragon stage and wildly drank the liquid like a cow. Chaos was biting off the dragon stage when it suddenly saw Chen Zuan drinking the liquid. It hit Chen Zuan away with its claws. From Chen Zuan's distress, plus 666. Lu Shu looked as Chen Zuan was sent rolling away like a rubber ball. He turned and looked at Chaos in shock. It was still biting off the dragon stage. Chaos saw that Lu Shu was looking and felt slightly bad. It signaled to Lu Shu, asking him to drink some and not let that fatty drink any. This was the first time Lu Shu saw that Chaos was so intelligent. For some reason, he could sense what Chaos was saying. Chaos had always grown by eating. Lu Shu realized in shock that the waves of energy from Chaos were almost Class A, it would advance any time now. He had always been envious that Lu Xiaoyu could control such strong creatures, but now, he had one as well. More than half of the dragon stage had been eaten. Ao Xian had no more energy to fight with Nie Ting and Hai Gongzi. They stopped fighting. Nie Ting and Hai Gongzi were not in a hurry to attack. Nie Ting looked up. There was nothing, but Nie Ting sensed that the puppet masters were outside. The Xian Ting sword in his hand was ready to take action. He might be able to fight one of the puppet masters. But he did not take action. They were still in China. He could not start a fight here and involve the innocent. The two puppet masters saw that the fight was over. They took their ironclad puppets and flew in another direction. They did not seem to intend to fight. Nie Ting lowered his head and pondered. Why was the puppet master's behavior so strange that it was hard to understand? Ao Xian spoke and Nie Ting was brought back into reality. So you think that by destroying me, no one will go and destroy the barrier in the exiled land? Do you not have any selfishness? Once the magically rich era is over, how long will Ao Hai be able to stay in the Chang'ing sword? How would lowly humans like you have your strength today? Silence fell. According to Ao Xian, the magically rich era had happened as the barrier in the exiled land was slowly cracking. The benefits that the magically rich era brought were obvious. The price they had to pay was the return of the ancient Yi clan. Kaka. The sound broke the silence. Lu Shu even deliberately lowered his voice, "Good boy. Don't care about them. Eat more while they talk." Ao Xian. Hai Gongzi. Nie Ting. From Ao Xian's distress, plus 1,000. Suddenly, Ao Xian burst out laughing. I never expected my life to end this way. Oh well. I wish you good luck. A purple five-petaled lotus appeared between Aosien's eyebrows and flew between Chaos' eyebrows then. The massive green dragon turned into ashes and disappeared. Lu Shu was very shocked. Be careful. He's taking you away. Don't worry, said Hai Gongzi. That is the inheritance of the dragon clan. This way, chaos is truly complete. Aosien knows more dragon language than I do. Let chaos slowly digest everything. It will be of use to you. There had always been an inheritance within the dragon clan. Chaos had changed form because of the divine punishment, but had not received the inheritance. It was like an ordinary person who had suddenly risen in rank, but had no special superpowers. Chaos received the purple five-petaled lotus, not quite sure about what had just happened. It lowered its head and continued to eat the dragon stage. Chenzhuan was not full yet, but he did not dare to approach the dragon stage. Lu Shu cheerily said, Chaos, let him drink some. At that moment, Chaos stopped eating the dragon stage. It flew up and broke through the mountain to ascend into the clouds. Lu Shu and the rest ran for shelter under a massive boulder. All of them put on their spirit chi armor to prevent their faces from being covered in dirt. Chaos flew about for some time. Then, it made its descent and returned to Lu Shu's side. Suddenly, it started to rain heavily within 10 kilometers radius of the cave. The rainwater fell into the cave through the hole that Chaos had created. Heavenly visions. Chaos had advanced to Class A. Lu Shu was pleasantly surprised. In the past, he had thought that anywhere could be his home ground with the mystic water, but it was a pity that Chaos absorbed the mystic water to form its body. Now, if Chaos could create rain clouds wherever it went, then he could use his sword rain as he wished, right? Can you speak now? Lu Shu was excited. After all, Hai Gongzi and Aosien could speak. Lu Shu wanted to see whether Chaos could as well. Chaos affectionately poked Lu Shu. Chirp chirp chirp. Lu Shu was dumbfounded. Chapter 748, Chirp Chirp Chirp. According to myth, the cry of a dragon could connect the entire world. Even deities trembled when they heard the cry of a dragon from a dark abyss. So why did deities tremble when they heard chirp chirp chirp? Lu Shu's expression darkened. Was this the legendary cry of the dragon? Lu Shu had imagined it to be a roar, followed by a lingering sound. It sounded pleasant, but could cause blood to flow out of the 7 apertures in the human head. The chirping was pleasant, but it was not as mighty as Lu Shu had imagined. Chaos seemed to realize that Lu Shu was tormented by the difference between his dreams and the reality. It was probably because his cry was not powerful enough. Chaos went all out. Chirp chirp chirp. Lu Shu lowered his head and patted Chaos. Okay. Leave it. My head hurts. Lu Shu had realized that his and Chaos' feelings were interlinked. Thus, even if Chaos did not chirp, he could understand it. Chaos felt slightly wronged. Lu Shu comforted it. Actually, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Chen Zuan was laughing wildly. Brother Shu, are you serious? You spent so much time raising this chirping creature? It looks so weak. What? Chaos looked at Chen Zuan in disdain and spat. Chen Zuan swiped the saliva of the evil dragon off his face. Brother, you are amazing. What was that saying? If someone spits on your left cheek, ask them to spit on your right cheek as well. But there's no need to with this fellow. It spat on my entire face. From Chen Zuan's distress, plus 666. Now, Chaos was not just over 10 meters. It was probably more than 50 meters long now. It was very lucky to have been able to eat an entire dragon stage. If not, it would not have been able to advance to Class A so easily. With its sheer size, a spit from it would pack quite the punch. Chen Zuan felt as if he had been hit by an artillery shell. Now, Lu Shu had a Class A that followed him wherever he went. If only he had this back in Sardinia. When he thought about Sardinia, Lu Shu's heart silently throbbed with pain. Niating calmly looked at Chaos. What abilities does it have? Lu Shu was dumbfounded. Oh right. He had never asked what abilities Chaos had. Chaos shouted, chirp chirp chirp. Yes, yes, I know you can spit. Do you have any other abilities? Lu Shu asked. Chirp chirp chirp. Other than inducing rain? Chirp chirp chirp. It can't do anything else. This conversation made everyone dumbfounded. Chen Zuan was shocked. Brother Shu, do you really understand it or are you just pretending? Don't pretend if you don't understand. Lu Shu expressionlessly looked at Chaos and said, chirp chirp chirp. Chen Zuan was dumbstruck. Ouch. Chaos turned and spat on Chen Zuan's face. Chen Zuan once again wiped his face and sighed. Brother Shu, I give in. From Chen Zuan's distress, plus 877. To be honest, Lu Shu was slightly melancholic. Why did his chaos have to turn out this way? His pet at home even had a magical weapon. Could he have something more reliable? Something is not right. Lu Shu was dumbfounded. It was as if Hai Gongzi was confirming what Lu Shu was thinking. Hai Gongzi looked at Chaos and said, after it masters the dragon language from Aosian, it will become more powerful. Its most powerful skill is not the ability to kill, but its ability to swallow everything. This was exactly what Lu Shu had been thinking. Earlier, Niating's sword dealt no damage to the dragon stage, but Chaos could easily bite off pieces from the dragon stage. This was the ability that the black fog and mystic water possessed. Lu Shu was very happy. After Chaos had transformed into a dragon, he had shifted his attention elsewhere. He had hoped that Chaos would be able to spit fire and water, or control the laws of nature using dragon language. But it was very disappointing that it could only spit. But from another perspective, how many things in the world were harder than the dragon stage? Furthermore, Chaos seemed to be far from its limit. Lu Shu was looking forward to when Chaos would eat up the weapons of others. Back then, Lu Shu had collected so many tridents, but they could only be used as snacks for Chaos. Lu Shu imagined Chaos, who was over 50 meters long, eating tridents as if it was eating chocolates. Lu Shu looked at Chaos and laughed. Good Chaos. You will be very useful in the future. This was his own dragon. He had to take good care of it. To Lu Shu, there were only two kinds of things in the world, the ones that belonged to him, and the ones that did not. He would always view things that belonged to him favorably. He would fight for things that did not belong to him so that they would fall into his possession. This logic, there seemed to be nothing wrong with it. When Chaos heard Lu Shu's praise, it was very happy. Chirp chirp chirp. Chen Zuan wanted to say something. But after thinking about what had just happened, he shut his mouth. Senior brother. Niating looked at Hai Gongzi. I will take my leave. Hai Gongzi accepted this name. Okay. Niating rose into the sky. The raindrops that fell from the sky were separated by an invisible air current. But he realized that Lu Shu was holding on to his black cloak. Why am I an audit student? Lu Shu's expression darkened. Explain this to me before you leave. From Niating's distress, plus 199. Let go. I will change it for you. Niating's expression was dark as well. You'd better keep your word. Lu Shu let go. Niating expressionlessly flew away. Before he left, he even found Luo Bei in the pile of snow. He picked Luo Bei up and flew away. Ha! Ha! Lu Shu laughed coldly as he watched Niating fly away. He was not done. The two of them sabotaged each other for fun. This time, Lu Shu had been sent to somewhere so far away. Although he knew that this could not have happened without the Chang'ing sword, he wanted Nie Ting to tell him directly. Furthermore, it was impossible that only Luotian Cultivation College had to catch their own specimens for the other cultivation colleges as well. Ao Xian had vanished. Hai Gongzi seemed somewhat lonely as he returned into the Chang'ing sword. Chaos went back into the Seal of Lands and started to eat tridents. It occasionally took a nap. Suddenly, it saw the Wutong wood with a phoenix perched on top of it. It became interested. Lu Shu hurriedly told Chaos that it could not touch the wood. If it wanted to eat something good, how about the head-twisting gourd? The head-twisting gourd was very uncomfortable. What an immoral owner. But Chaos did not eat the head-twisting gourd. This surprised Lu Shu. Chaos had never given up on food unless the food was dangerous. When Chaos was eating the dragon stage, it was quite scared of Ao Xian. Did the head-twisting gourd have some secret behind it? Lu Shu could make a guess. This gourd had helped him tide over the divine punishment. Chapter 749, Saving Water. After figuring out Chaos' greatest advantage, Lu Shu could calm down. Chen Zuan understood that Brother Shu had the support of a Class A. As long as Lu Shu was around, no one could touch him. He had to cling on to him. Chen Zuan tried to flatter Lu Shu. Congrats Brother Shu on obtaining a Class A Chaos. Lu Shu's expression darkened. Since when did you become so big-sized? Chen Zuan said modestly, I'm surprised myself. How much of that liquid did you drink? Lu Shu suddenly asked. Around 13 days' worth of food. 1 day's worth of food will weigh around 3 kilograms, Chen Zuan calculated. After consolidating my Class C status, I am once again at the boundary of Class C. I don't know what effects the liquid has either. Lu Shu glanced at Chen Zuan. This fatty was lucky too. With the help of the liquid from the dragon stage, this fatty was about to advance to Class B. In the past, Lu Shu had always looked down on greedy good-for-nothings. He did not expect them to be of use here. Lu Shu sighed. Dumb people have their own dumb happiness. Brother Shu, why do I feel like you're scolding me? Chen Zuan was dumbfounded. From Chen Zuan's distress, plus 399. Lu Shu brought Chen Zuan out. They had just stepped out when they saw a group of people still lying on the floor. Brother Shu, what should we do with them? Chen Zuan looked at the people on the ground. Nie Ting had flown away without caring about them. Evidently, he knew that Lu Shu and Chen Zuan would not abandon these people. Slap them awake, said Lu Shu gently. Can we do that? Let me try. Slap. Chen Zuan gasped in shock. Lu Shu had slapped Wang Zhe. Wang Zhe also suddenly gasped in shock. He had been dreaming when he was suddenly slapped. There was a stinging pain, then a burning sensation. Who slapped me? Wang Zhe angrily sat up and looked at Lu Shu. From Wang Zhe's distress, plus 887. Lu Shu cheerily looked at Wang Zhe. The Venerable asked me to find you and take back the magical stone that you owe him. Wang Zhe was stunned. He had not yet understood what was happening. Earlier, he lost his consciousness and memory when he walked into the blue light. Now, he could not understand the situation. But the words, the Venerable, were traumatizing. The moment Lu Shu mentioned the Venerable, he no longer dared to speak. Could the Venerable extend the due date? I don't have that much money now, Wang Zhe said guiltily. He could not act anymore. He did not even dare to do so.
Ha! Ha!
Lu Shu laughed coldly. The Venerable said that if you don't repay the magical stone, your kidney will be dug out. Wang Zhe suddenly cried. I only have one left. I sold the other before the magically rich era. The Venerable, please let me off. Lu Shu fell silent. He did not know what to feel. This was not a laughing matter, but he felt some pity for Wang Zhe. He no longer tried to argue with Wang Zhe. This did not mean that he empathized with Wang Zhe. He felt that arguing with a person like this would be lowly of him. This was not the first time Lu Shu had thought about this. He had always sought to earn money when he ran out of money. He would think of a solution when he faced a problem. He would only spend what he had. Lu Shu always felt that he had to have moral character. After all, even in the most difficult times, Lu Shu had never thought about selling his kidney. Thus, he could not understand people like Wang Zhe. The entire team had been waiting in the base for a day. The Heavenly Network members who had been controlled were informed of the situation by Chen Zuan. Chen Zuan warned them against doing it again. Everyone laughed. If we don't do it, who will? We know that there is danger ahead of us. We are mentally prepared for it. Lu Shu did not say anything else. He knew that it would be of no use. Lu Xiaoyu softly told him about the puppet masters. For some reason, Lu Shu felt the words, puppet master, pushing down on his heart like a stone. The presence of the puppet master had become stronger. It was as if they were everywhere. What was their objective? Was it not to destroy the barrier or something? Why did they start to protect the world? According to Ao Xian, the puppet masters were from the exiled land. Why were they able to enter this world? They did not try to find the barrier, nor did they try to destroy it. It was as if they were not in a rush. What were they planning? They returned to the city with great spirits and determination. Wang Yan and the rest finally felt safe. They were surrounded by members of the Heavenly Network. When they finally reached safety, Wang Yan was touched. They realized that the group of Heavenly Network members were all older than Lu Shu and his team. Logically, they should be in the upper classes of the Heavenly Network. Thus, Wang Yan reported the poor attitude that Lu Shu and the rest displayed to them. The members of the Heavenly Network who had been controlled by Ao Xian all had strange expressions on their faces. I feel that you had better not report this. Firstly, we were saved by them. I don't think I need to mention our gratitude to them. Secondly, I don't think we have the authority to handle this. They are not ordinary people. When the members of the Heavenly Network asked Chao Qingxi and Chen Zuan about their classes, they knew who these young bosses were. Which group had a Class C as its weakest member? There were 2 Class Bs and 3 Class Cs in this group. There had never been such a team. Wang Yan and the rest were dumbfounded. They could not understand how Lu Shu and the rest looked so young, but yet were so strong. They walked through the Kumukili desert and returned to the city. The moment they returned to the city, the first thing that they did was not to eat. They first took a bath. They had not bathed in hot water for over 10 days. They had spent the entire time in the wilderness. Even Lu Shu, who had water-type abilities, could not stand it. When they returned to the city, Zhang Yanfeng did not part ways with Lu Shu and the rest. Instead, he requested for Lu Shu, Lu Xiaoyu, and the rest of the Heavenly Network members to bathe as well. Lu Shu did not reject this offer. No matter what, they still had to bathe. They entered the shower area. Lu Shu turned on the tap and let the initial cold water flow. He suddenly thought of something and splashed water on Chen Zuan, who was beside him. This cold water is still water. Don't waste it. Chen Zuan was dumbstruck. From Chen Zuan's distress, plus 666. Brother Shu, what are you doing? Chen Zuan was dumbfounded. Saving water, said Lu Shu. Then why don't you use it to shower? Chen Zuan was puzzled. It's cold water. From Chen Zuan's distress, plus 666. Chapter 750, The Divergence-type power has been exposed. Chen Zuan held in his anger. He opened the tap and shouted, no wasting of water. He pointed the shower nozzle at Lu Shu. but he realized that the water defied the laws of physics and started to spray water on him. From Chanzwan's distress, plus 666. Brother Shu, should you be using your water-type abilities like that? Do you have any virtues as a metahuman? Suddenly, he remembered something. Brother Shu, can I ask you something? There was one time when we were in the toilet together and my urine split into 5 branches. Wasn't me, said Lu Shu as he washed his hair. Chen Zhuan was very upset. Can you have some self-awareness as a metahuman? He was more than sure that Lu Shu did it. From Chen Zhuan's distress, plus 999. As Lu Shu was showering, he realized that Zhang Yanfeng wanted to speak, but stopped. He felt that Zhang Yanfeng must have something to tell him, but if he did not say anything, Lu Shu would not ask him either. To be honest, they would not interact much after this. Although he respected Zhang Yanfeng as a person with moral standing, the problem was that Zhang Yanfeng was an ordinary person. The city that they were in was very small. There were many people from minority races. Lu Shu realized that Zhang Yanfeng was very familiar with his place. After being in this business for so many years, he would definitely know a lot about this place. He had more life experiences than Lu Shu. But this was of no use to Lu Shu. He knew that Zhang Yanfeng probably wanted to work with him, thus his current expression. They finished their shower and put on their clothes. Zhang Yanfeng said to Lu Shu softly, "Follow me." Lu Shu followed Zhang Yanfeng with a doubtful expression on his face. They walked along the corridor and took a hidden lift to the 3rd floor. Lu Shu was full of anticipation. Was this the legendary? Zhang Yanfeng brought Lu Shu into a private room in a restaurant. A staff member respectfully greeted Zhang Yanfeng before going out. Zhang Yanfeng said softly, "Although you are younger than me, I will still call you Brother Shu. This is a rule. The strong must be respected. It's like this. I feel like I have a talent for cultivation. I even bought a sodium-potassium alloy." The alloy changed in color. As he spoke, Zhang Yanfeng took out a small bottle. Inside the bottle was a sodium-potassium alloy that had changed in color. Lu Shu was dumbfounded. From this color change, Zhang Yanfeng seemed to have a lot of potential. "Why didn't you join the Heavenly Network?" Lu Shu asked. "I want to join." Zhang Yanfeng had a pained expression on his face. "But the checks are too strict. You can't just join even if you want to." Lu Shu finally understood. From the beginning, the Heavenly Network had deliberately created a high-pressure environment to prevent the secret practitioners from making a move. Now, although they had relaxed their policies and even allowed them to operate black markets, it was unrealistic for them to join the Heavenly Network. On one hand, the Heavenly Network was afraid that they would have ulterior motives in joining the organizations. On the other hand, the Heavenly Network did not think much of these secret practitioners. They felt that their own students who they had nurtured were more pure. Many multinational corporations like to nurture students and train them to be future employees. Some companies even selected students while they were still in high school. After these students graduated, they had to undergo a strict training. Some were even sent to an uninhabited island to survive in the wilderness. This was not another scene in a novel. This was reality. These students became accustomed to the company culture even in high school. Once they finished their training, there was a high possibility that they would be in the higher ranks of the company. In the past, Lu Shu felt that this was too good to be true. Later on, he discovered that such companies existed, although there were not many of such companies. What the Heavenly Network was doing now was trying to add new blood to the organization with students. This way, they would be able to maintain the purity of the organization. They would not be exploited by others. Lu Shu looked at Zhang Yanfeng. "So why are you telling me this?" "I want to join the Heavenly Network," said Zhang Yanfeng. Zhang Yanfeng had seen Chao Qingxi, Lu Xiaoyu and the rest come to the base in their black raincoats. He had also seen them fend off the pack of wolves with little effort. He yearned to be able to wear the symbol of the heavenly network. This feeling was incredible. In the past, Zhang Yanfeng was greedy for money. He wanted to save up money and buy some techniques from secret practitioners. He felt that he could be a secret practitioner. It was fine even if he did not join the heavenly network. But the trip to Death Valley had changed his perspective. In the eyes of the secret practitioners, the heavenly network was a symbol of strength. It was in man's nature to strive for the better. After seeing the strength of the heavenly network, who did not want to join them? The staff member who had walked out returned. 2 girls in strange attire followed behind him. When Zhang Yanfeng saw the 2 girls, he beamed with joy. "Hurry up and greet Brother Shu." The 2 girls bowed. "Good day, Brother Shu. I am Zhuo Dan." "Good day, Brother Shu. I am Zhuo Ma." Zhang Yanfeng softly said to Lu Shu, "You take Zhuo Dan, I take Zhuo Ma." Lu Shu was silent for 2 seconds. "The sun is out one?" Zhang Yanfeng was confused. From Zhang Yanfeng's distress, plus 666. This way, he indirectly rejected Zhang Yanfeng's offer. He brought Chen Zuan and the rest to take the train back to Luo City. But he did not completely destroy Zhang Yanfeng's hopes. Lu Shu felt that someone as experienced as him could be useful in the battlefield. But he could not solve this problems just by opening the back door for him. The heavenly network was very strict with the process of admission. Lu Shu was not powerful enough. He did not want to risk bringing Zhang Yanfeng in. This was a glorious group. Lu Shu had decided to protect its glory. Lu Shu sat on the train and looked out. The tickets they had bought only entitled them to ordinary seats. They had to wait for a few more stations before they could buy sleeping car tickets. Lu Xiaoyu's head laid on his lap as she fell asleep, her short hair spread out on his legs. This journey to Death Valley had been significant. On one hand, Chaos had officially advanced to Class A, although it did not seem to be as strong as other Class A's in combat. Lu Shu was hopeful about its ability to swallow things. He wanted to know what else Chaos could eat. On the other hand, he had gained insight into many background stories. The real appearance of the world was like a massive iceberg under the peaceful surface of the sea. Who exactly was the ancient Yi clan?
What does it mean to be happy? 'Cause it looks like we all don't know. Glass half full or empty, man, we just putting on a show. Try to look to the heavens to tell us things that we better.